Hello, everyone. Welcome
Dum.
to Silverline Silver Sunday. I got the message that the Facebook did not go live, and I am trying to add it back. So let's see if that added it back. I got the little swirly thing here. So I'm telling you, our intro is so fast now. I don't have time. I don't have time to do anything. Oh, and look, we're competing with Aaron Lepresti, who is also live. Great. I see him live on Facebook. I was going to share ours out.
You want me to send a digital bomb over there that'll shut his stream down?
Let
me do that real quick.
Send him a cease and desist.
Okay,
just route his viewers to us. We could just do a new pipeline.
Oh, yeah, better idea. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Silverline's Silver Sunday. I am your host. Oh, there it is. We're actually on, Facebook. My name is Roland Mann. Today is November the 2nd, 2025, and I'm excited to be with you. I am joined by, as always, the man who is so sad that Halloween is over, Mr. Thomas Formani Jr.
I'm so sad. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's so sad. The best holiday that we have, and it's now behind us. Yeah. Or it's 300 and some odd days in front of us.
See, that's the half full opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's the way you should look at it. It's coming up.
There's a mosquito flying around in here. I hate mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes, man. You know what? I hardly ever see mosquitoes here in Florida.
That's because you live in the north.
It is cold up here. Computer, what's the temperature?
It was warm today. I'm telling you. It got close to 80 here in Orlando today, but the past several days it was 50 something on Friday, pretty much all day. So it was really cool to have a cold Halloween.
Yeah.
It was 37 when I got this morning. So
I'll try
not to be. I feel too sorry for you.
that is cold, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Chilly.
It is chilly. Of course, Tommy and I are joined by that man in the mask guy, Mr. Mike W. Belcher. Say hi, Mike.
Howdy, everybody. At least we got here and we weren't an hour ahead like we used to be. Now we're an hour behind.
Yep, that's right.
So is this the time period that everybody likes, or is it going to be everybody's going to complain about it come Monday and I liked it better the last time, and then when it switches again in 6 months, you go, I liked it better the last time. I just wish.
You know, I'm one of the. I guess I know that I'm one of the rare birds. I don't mind the time change. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me. I set my alarm. I get up, go to bed when I'm supposed to. I don't care. Never really bothered me.
Yeah. Nope. I have my comments thing here. Matt Likes Comics says, hey, everybody, it's 39 where I am. Oh, my gosh, 39 degrees. That's just cold. It's cold, Matt. Where are you, Matt? Where geographically, where are you? I'm in central. Well, Tommy says I'm in North Florida, but I'm not really. I'm in central North Florida. I'm just a little south of Gainesville.
I just meant north of me is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I am north of you, and Tommy is in central Florida, and
Orlando,
Kentucky. Oh my gosh, Matt is in Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, are we supposed to say now? Right? Oh my gosh, Matt! It must have like snow there most of the year.
It's always snowing there, I think.
It's always snowing in Canada.
Yeah.
What color is their grass? It's white. Matt says no.
No.
Sorry, Matt. We're just playing with you, man. Matt is Entertainment Group says, hey, yo, what is up, Pops? Thanks for swinging by. We love Pops. Pops is always taking good care of us and the Madness Entertainment Group, you guys. Pops is the one responsible for getting us on Roku. So if you're listening to us on Roku, you need to thank Pops because we do. Matt says just 3 months.
Snowing or not snowing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they only get sun.
There.
They only get sun for 3 months.
No. I've said it on the show many times. It's I want it to be cold right at Christmas, and then I want it to be back in the 80s again. It's right at Christmas.
I'd like about a week of it.
Yeah, I'll give you a week. I'll let you have. You can. I'll give you the week. You can have a week.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And then back to 80. 70s, 80s. I don't like it when it's high 90s and 100. That's too hot. But 80s the whole time. Boy, it's beautiful.
Matt Likes Comics says Buffalo gets more snow than we do.
Yeah.
So true story. I think I've mentioned this on the stream before. So if you guys have heard the story before, you just deal with it, right? When I moved down here to Florida, I was looking for a place. It was in Orlando, and I was looking for a place to live. And I was looking at little townhomes right beside the university where I work in Winter Park, which is just outside of Orlando. And as a responsible human being, right before you get a place, you're supposed to walk around it and look at the windows and all that, make sure there's no big holes in the wall. I walk around and I see these water pipes coming up out of the ground, and I'm like, oh, and I look at them and I'm like, that's going to be a problem, don't you think? That's what the guy did. He looked at me and he laughed. He goes,
"You're not problem? A lawnmower running into him?
You're not from around here, are you?" And I'm like, no. He goes, "We're below the freeze line." And I said, "What the heck's a freeze line?" And of course, I'm thinking, a freeze line. I'm thinking, is it because it's lower than your, window?
It only comes certain far down the house. It's going to be on the window level.
I was trying to figure it out. Then he goes, no, there's like an equatorial, not an equator, but whatever those latitude, longitude. Which is the one that goes around? Not up and down. Which one?
That one. Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
That one.
Apparently, there is a line that if you're south of that, you're below the freeze line, and that line is around Gainesville, Florida. And so I'm south of Gainesville, Florida. So I'm below. It says the Arctic Circle.
The Arctic Circle, yeah, yeah. So it seldomly freezes down this way.
Yeah. So it gets cold, but and we obviously we get those really rare.
Yeah, and then by lunch it's gone already. So you don't really, what snow we do get, it's gone by lunch.
Matt's just throwing out things now. The Tropic of Capricorn.
That's true. I think that's true too.
I do. Yeah, I remember Tropic of Cancer, Cancer also, right? I don't remember where they are.
Is he talking about that movie, Tropic Thunder? That was a good movie.
No.
No. Okay, never mind.
Argo Comics 6207 says, "Happy birthday to the man." Thank you, Argo. I appreciate that very much. It was a good day. I had a good day yesterday. Had some ice cream cake. Man, I love me some ice cream cake. Yeah,
from McDonald's.
No, it was from Dairy Queen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
McDonald's does an ice cream cake still.
Do they really? I didn't know that.
Sister wanted one for her birthday, and they still make them.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was the case.
Yeah, DQ and Baskin and Robbins are only two places I know to do ice cream cakes.
Same. Yeah.
Did you eat the whole thing, or did you save some?
No. There's still some left.
Okay. Bring me some tomorrow when you come by the office. 23
1/3 degrees each way. It'll be melted by the time I get down there. 23 1/3 degrees each way from the equator. I'm a real nerd. Okay, yeah. So yeah, each way from the equator, right? Because the equator is right in the middle. Each way from that is there's a freeze line. So, and I just happen to live south of the northern one. Okay, enough about the freeze line. Our comic book people were like, "What are they talking about? Freeze lines and equators and Tropic of Capricorn and Pops' Age of Aquarius."
Age of
any news? Anybody got news?
You and I did a show last Sunday. I guess y'all probably talked about it last week when I wasn't able to make it. We did a Halloween show.
Yeah. Yep. We talked about you. Yep.
We
talked about the show.
Do what?
I said we talked about you. I mean, we talked about the show.
Oh, what? Oh, what? I could go back in the other room. No, I had a friend in town, and I was spending time with him.
Yep. Yeah. Who, by the way, is I knew him first.
Yes, you did. Yep.
Carrie, if you happen to be listening, Carrie is an old buddy of Tommy's. But I've actually met Carrie in junior college. Who at the time I have no idea what he does. I've joked with him some, but at the time, Carrie was an artist, and he had very much a very John Byrne look to his sketches. He didn't have. You got to remember we were young, so he didn't have a lot of. And I'm having problems remembering actual pages, but he had a lot of character sketches that I remember.
Yeah,
and very, very heavily influenced by John Byrne, and he was one of the first guys that ever tried to talk into doing a comic book with me. Come on, man, let's make a comic. Never would.
He actually moved down to Orlando when I did to do caricaturing out at Disney. Yeah.
And now, is that when you met him, or did you meet him in?
Oh no, Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pops says here, Pops, drop in that link if you will. We have a new Find My Comic exclusive wraparound cover for the Ozzy art book, and it's live right now. I know Tommy has an image in that book. Mike, did you get an image in there?
No, I didn't. But I think Jose put one in there. I may be wrong on that.
Pops, where do we go to get it, bud?
Yeah, Pops is going to drop us a link in here. So all of you go consider getting that. When you see Tommy, of course, Tommy, I'd be happy to sign it for you. Yeah. Jose and Rob. I knew
Rob, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Rob Davis and Jose Fuentes. So hey, look at that, one from every night. Got Tommy from Sunday, Jose from Tuesday, and Rob from Wednesday. So here's the link, all of you guys. Make sure you pop on over there and grab you a copy, because any of the Silverliners and all the other artists, I'm sure, would be happy to sign it. While I'm looking at this little thing right here that you can't see, hey, wherever you're listening to us at, whether that be, well, let me just put my little cursor over and see where. You guys are all on Twitter. On YouTube. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you are not already doing so, because that helps.
And share. Like, subscribe, and share.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
Helps us out.
So, so I don't really have, only news I have is that all of the digital folks, I haven't forgotten you, but all of the physical rewards have been shipped out for Kalis. Achilles has landed number 3, for Rejects number 2, and for Cape Town number 2. So if you guys don't already have them, you should be getting them very soon. And of course, as always, we're really anxious to hear what you guys think about them. If you feel so inclined, do an unboxing video and tag us in it. They're doing take some unboxing photos, whatever you do. But absolutely, Carrie's reader is coming here. Coming here. I don't know what coming here means. No, Carrie's has been sent to England, so it's got a ways to go. I'm assuming here. No, it's not going to you, Pops. It's going to England. Yeah. So other than that, that's all the news I've got. We have got another crowdfunder that we're going to start this week. I should have. We're still building the campaign, and I should have before the campaign starts. I should have the foils before we launch this time. So Tommy says no, but I should have. So
tomorrow.
So that will be launching on Wednesday with the Whammers. So be sure to tune in.
What books are there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's for Sirens number 3, and it's for Scary Book number 2. We're actually going to do 2 of them this time. They're both remix books. So Scary Book is colored by Eric Rosberg, and Sirens is being colored by Barb. So, and they look very nice. So if you're one of those rare people that have the black and whites, check out the color.
Do we have anything in the distributors' catalogs?
We do. We've got man, Mike, you should have prepped me for this.
I wasn't thinking. It just hit me.
Let's see if I can get Philbo distribution open. You guys, if you've hopefully if you follow our email, if you're on our email list, you know of the problems that we have had with Diamond. Let's see, November for February release. That's going to be the latest one. All right, so the latest Philbos, Philviews for Philbo distribution is for the February release, and I don't know if that. That's out on the. I'm looking at the website. I don't know why. I don't know. And we have in there a couple of books. Let me see if I can find Silverline real quick. Oh, it looks like Terry Moore's Strangers in Paradise is gonna. Multiple volumes in here. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I did see that they made an arrangement to go through Philbo.
Yeah. So you know what? Let me just let me share this. I can
like the trade or
like
his omnibuses and trades and I think even a new book. I'm not positive, but I think a new book.
Window. So yeah, so I was just scrolling trying to find Silverline, and Terry Moore's Strangers in Paradise popped up. Look at that. So yeah, Terry Moore's Trigger Warning.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, and then there's Volume 1 of Strangers in Paradise, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. Looks like alternate covers to. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, look at that. It's hardcover and a soft cover.
Yeah.
So so those of you who are Terry Moore fans, which I mean, who's not, right? And then there's Echo, the complete edition. It looks like all kind of Terry Moore work in here for this month. Terry Moore Motor Girl Omnibus, Parker Girls Omnibus. All right, so all this kind of stuff. I'm going really quick through here. Seeing if I could get to the Silverline stuff. I know.
Hey, taking time is good. We're building up the suspense.
That's right.
Zorro.
Yeah, the big red cheese.
Are you sure?
Well, whoops, gotta be careful here. No, but it should have been. I haven't missed any. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Issue 3. Yeah, so issue 3 of Trump's. Issue 2 of Kalis. Now, for those of you who bought the books through Diamonds, these are reissued. So because a lot of we were having problems with Diamond, and anybody listening knows that, right? So hopefully you can get your store to get these in now, since they wouldn't order them through Diamond. They can now order them here. All right, Kalis number 2 and Trump's number 3 are
excellent.
That we have available here. And if you happen to be a retailer and you're like, I just don't know, you guys are indie and I don't really know about you guys, drop me an email and I will get you a free digital preview. Let you take a look at them. Because we believe in what we're doing. We believe that you're going to like what you see. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. I mean, we're in the middle of, you guys are into this. I teach this teach comic stuff. So we're in the middle of a big shift in the industry. Who knows what's going to happen? We're in the middle of it. So
upheaval.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Salvador Raga has an image in the Aussie book too. Isn't he one of yours early? Yes, Salvador is a silver liner as well. Pop. So yeah, so that's 4 folks in the that have images in the Aussie book. So you guys get over there and order it. Tommy told me to find something. What am I supposed to find here? Where's it at? It's an image, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Overlay? Was it overlay? Here we go. Tommy, what you drawing?
What you drawing? Let me flip over. I'm working on some covers for future crowdfunders. Let me see if I can flip it over.
We need some metal with that. What you doing? When you pull on that, what you do? It's like throw some, some metal.
Oh, look at that! It's weird. Just his head.
It is weird. It's just his head. Yeah. it's like you're trying to.
Oh,
I
know why. I know why.
It's got the blur on. Yeah.
The blur is still turned on. Let me turn that on. That's cool.
Yeah. So Tommy did tell me he was going to get me sound with it.
Yeah. I need to work on it.
But he hadn't done it.
No, we got you want to tell them what we got pictures of? What we got?
Yeah, all right. So all right. So the one we're launching.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
I'm sorry the camera's so tight so you can see what I was doing, but
no, it's all good. Yeah, because it'd be better once we see you working, it'll be close on what you're doing. Yeah, so the first campaign we're gonna launch in 2026 in January will be for Cray. We're going to wrap up Cray issues 3, 4, and 5. So these are the campaign covers for that. We'll also have the trade paper available for that. So Mike, I'm going to be hollering at you for some trade stuff, man.
You got it.
Because I want to keep the looks consistent. For those of you who don't know, I don't have one right here. For those of you who managed to grab the Kalis trade during our campaign, that's going to be the look for all of the Silverline trades, and I just love that look. I think Mike did a fantastic job with that.
So who did the artwork on this one?
So that one is Rob Davis, right?
There we go.
Yep, that's Rob Davis. Yep. And of course, the inker is you.
Me. Yeah. And then we got one from No Way Jose.
Yep, Jose. And then you're inking. You already done both of them, huh?
Yeah.
Haha, look at that. Jose said, I know that first cover.
Looking good. Very good.
Yep.
And then I'm going to be inking on the
sweet.
Twilight Grim.
That one, Tommy, no one has actually ever even seen that one yet.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's just that no one has seen it yet.
Should we not let them see it?
No, go ahead. This will whet their appetite for it.
That looks great.
Yeah. This
one's by Rob also.
Yes, it is by Rob Davis, and this will be a cover for the Twilight Grim trade. So, yeah, most excellent. So tell me, what will you be using to ink tonight?
This pen.
Which is?
I have no idea. You know me. I just go grab whatever I can find. I'm actually trying some new pens that Walmart carries, and I can't remember the name of them. They're Tomies.
Really?
Tomo. It's almost like my name, right?
Yeah,
but it's a. I used to use. Let me see if I can find one. I used to really like using the zebra pens that you could get, and then. Okay, I don't see it. I'm looking through all my
your tray
because I don't really.
How many of those?
All of the ink and the brushes and all that kind of stuff anymore because of the mess. It's just easier for me. There's one.
How many of those should probably be thrown away?
Most of them still have ink in them. I keep buying new ones and then I just throw them in here, and then as they're bad, you know me at shows, I end up throwing them on the floor across the room. at people that are walking by.
Yeah.
You remember over at the Daytona show, we had there was a garbage can close to where I was sitting, and I kept throwing them across the way. And,
yeah.
And
then you
Brent
came up.
thought it was funny because I never hit the garbage can one time. I was throwing pins across the way.
Well, it was funny because you brought me a comic book out of the trash can. You went.
I did.
Hey, look, I found this comic book in the trash can, Roland. You want it?
It was a good one too. We still don't know what it was doing in the trash.
No, the only reason we can think that it was in the trash is because the cover had come loose from the comic, and it was like Avengers 178 or something like that.
Yeah. But these are a couple of these are just they're from Walmart. So yes, that's what I'm gonna use. I don't know. I'll look it up.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna watch Tommy as we're working on that. Now, is your camera like focusing back and forth, or are you doing that?
I don't know what it's doing.
It's moved back. It's moved back and forth a time or two. Have you noticed it, Mike?
Oh, let me see if I can turn that off too.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was you kind of zooming in a
No,
little bit.
this fancy camera is a pain in the behind.
All right.
Let's see if I can turn that part off.
This could be a good segue into the topic, right? Tonight's topic is workspaces now and then. And the idea behind this is, well, all of us on the Sunday stream, someone asked me one time, is it Silver Sunday mean because you're all silver haired? And I'm like, no, that is not what that means. It's Silver Sunday because it's Silverline. But I did notice that that on Sunday, all of us, except for Roberta, of course, all of us are a little bit of the silver-haired variety.
Focus, autofocus. There we go. Let me turn that off. It's still focused.
Yeah. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that might have been it because it was zooming in and out.
Yeah, but now you can barely. Anyway, we'll just see. We'll make it work.
All right. I'm still doing it actually, but that's okay. That's not bad.
Oh no, that's not focusing. That's moving. The camera's moving around. God, what a crazy thing. Yeah. So let me put the focus back on. Okay, keep talking.
Okay.
That's cool though.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. And I do like how it's zoomed way in there so we can see it. A lot of times when we see you inking the images so far back, it's hard to see what you're doing. But
when I'm doing the digital stuff, it's a lot easier to control what you're looking at. But when it's on paper, it's just let's see.
Yeah, it's more difficult.
How about we talk and I'll fix this?
Okay. So all right. So the topic tonight is really about how technology has changed. I mean, we know how technology has changed comics, but how technology has changed the way we work in our working spaces. And I'm just sitting here. I'm sitting at my desk now. I've had this desk, much to my wife's chagrin, for see, how long have I been married?
3 weeks,
35 years. So I've had this desk about 38 years. 37, 38 years, right? I love this desk. Now, my wife, not so much. She doesn't hate it, but she's just like, it's so big. Why don't you get something?
It's a big desk.
It is a
when
big
you moved, I saw that thing, and I'm like, who's going to help you move that thing?
I got it down. I moved it so many times, I've got it down. But I got a great big utility dolly that I can use. As long as it's empty, it's really easy to move with the utility dolly. But I got this thing right about the time I graduated college. My dad went with me to a discount furniture place. Okay, remainders or leftovers, I forget what they're called now. And I paid $45. I remember that. Actually, I paid $45 for this desk.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Oh, great deal. I call it my earthquake desk because this thing is, if an earthquake happens, I can jump right up under here and I'll be okay. Somebody's gonna have to dig me out, right? But I will be. This desk is not going anywhere. But when I first got this desk, right, what I had on it was an old I never really used an electronic typewriter. I used a typewriter real early on, but then in high school, my parents got me a Commodore 64. Was my first, and I would load up my software. Now on my desk, I had a great big monitor. Back in the day, of course, the monitors were big, and it was just this huge monstrosity.
Those big tube monitors.
And on the side, I had my little 5 1/4 floppy inch drive, and on top of that, I had the tape drive, right, and everything daisy chained together. And then off to the side of that, I had a dot matrix, a 6-pin dot matrix printer, right. And that was it as far as what was on. I had a desk light that was just beside my monitor, because I would pick up my keyboard and I would just shift it to the side, and I would break out my notepad, and I would write on my notepad. In fact, I still often I've got one over there, but it's got paper. I still often write with a clipboard. Well, you see, I have a clipboard here handy. There's no paper in it, but I just sit here and write with a clipboard, right? That's how I'll write. In fact, today, I think I mentioned this not too long ago, when I'm writing dialogue for a comic, I'll often go out on my back porch with the photocopies of the comic, my plot, and then a stack of notebook paper, and I'll just go out on the back porch and sit back there and write everything out longhand. Yes, I could type it, but my problem with typing is, and the reason I do everything longhand, my problem with typing is that as I'm typing, I have a tendency to edit as I type. So if I'm typing and I make a mistake, I delete, I go back. If I'm writing everything out by hand, I'm just writing everything out by hand. And if I make a mistake, I just take a pencil, scratch through it, and I just keep going. Right. So my flow tends to be a little quicker, a little more spontaneous that way if I'm writing everything by paper. I had a great big my chair was it was a graduation gift from my mom and dad. It was a great one of those big monstrosities that came up here, the kind that you could kick back and get you a nice book or a pipe. It was well padded, very, very, and that thing lasted for a long time. It finally gave up the ghost because the bottom had wheels, right, and that had a post in it like that, and the post ended up going through the top of the chair like that,
right into the behind.
Yep. You could feel it. It didn't go through like those things you see on TikTok, right? It didn't go through it, but you could feel it back there going, oh, it's just uncomfortable. And it wouldn't kind of rock anymore. It wouldn't kind of sway side to side. Trying to think of how long I've had this one. I've only had this one a couple of years. The problem with the chair like this, you guys probably can confirm, when you sit in a chair hours after hours after hours after hours, you wear them. You wear through a chair. I don't wear through my desk, but I have worn through the chairs.
Well, they don't make them as good as they used to.
No, they don't.
They're meant to be replaced every couple of years. You don't find a good chair that will be, because like I said, your weight will eventually, make it unbearable to sit.
Yep. Yeah. Mike, what can you remember about your first workspace?
Oh, it was just really small, like a card table that was in my room. Mom had, we had full furniture in each bedroom, and so there for space for anything of art was very limited. So I had a little kind of corner in my bedroom that I could do something, and it was just a little wood card table. It wasn't a foldable
wood card table, huh?
It was wood. It was about the size of a card table, and my mom had a typewriter from her college years. And, you know, we whenever I needed something, Mom would always say, "Well, I have something for that." And it was like, then she give me the typewriter, and it's like, this thing's ancient. I can't type on this. It like creaks when you hit a button. And she, you know, she would look at me and say, "Well, you could do it. You could deal with it." So I talked her into a regular Smith Corona typewriter, electric typewriter. And I just didn't really jive with that. And we took it back to Walmart, and they had a word processor. So word processor was my first, you know, where I could type things, and I could go line by line and edit, and then hit print, and it would print it. And so that was
a line at a time, right? It would print a line at a time.
Yeah. It wasn't easy to edit it, but you at least could have, instead of sitting there, you know, thinking, "Oh, I missed that," or "I made a mistake," you at least could see it. And so that was my first, you know, it's like, oh, this was high technology. You know, this was great. And then I just had my grandfather, my pop, as far as when it came to art, I showed him a picture of something in the Sears catalog, and he was very handy. And I asked him, I said, "Do you think you could come up with something like this for an art table?" And he looked at me. He said, "Oh, we can take care of that." And so I think the very next week, he ordered the thing in the Sears catalog because he didn't want to try to make it. So that was, I had no problem with it. And I had that art table easily 20 years. It was broken. I was put together spit and baling wire because I couldn't get rid of it. It meant too much to me. But I don't know how much I drew on that sucker. And it kind of pained me when I had to replace it. But I did the typewriter for a while, and then, you know, I got a computer, I think in the mid to late 90s. You know, I switched to computer, and you know, you really couldn't, you know, back then, you know, image software was starting to come into its own. You know, you were starting to get into the era of computer coloring, and, you know, like I said, I always kind of looked and trying to find ways of production because, you know, while I didn't go into comics, I went into publishing, you know, for a career. And so, you know, looking at stuff. So, you know, I kind of grew up with Photoshop. You know, I was at Photoshop 2.5, I think, when, you know, before even the CMYK, you know, they didn't even have CMYK with Photoshop. You know, and I went to school for graphic design. You know, I went to UK for graphic design, but, you know, just to show you the situation at the time, we only had a computer like once a week. The rest of it was, you know, we didn't have computers. So when I got out of college, I still had to teach myself the computer. It wasn't something that was a thing there.
Yeah.
And so I was still just as naive to computers as everything else. So I had numerous Windows machines, even though, you know, when I worked for newspapers, we worked on Macs, and I much preferred Macs.
Oh yeah.
And I was a Mac guy. But I always tried to make the Windows machines, and you know, the Windows machines were behind on publishing.
Yeah.
So I always had to kind of find equivalents to the Adobe stuff, you know, and you know, I think it's kind of funny, you know, once I got back into the Mac world in my own environment, I kind of went away from the Adobe stuff because the Adobe stuff was too dang expensive.
Yeah.
But you know, as far as my workspace, you know, I started coloring and I started doing some artwork on the computer, but nothing, you know, I still was very much a pen and paper guy. But, you know, as far as today, I still have the art table I replaced my old one with, but instead of me drawing on my art table now, my tablet is sitting on my art table.
Yeah.
And it's over here on this side. You know, I work on this main one, and then I turn.
So you have this big art table, but on your table you have your tablet.
Yeah, I am. I mean, if you're going to work on it, I mean, it's perfectly angled for it, but you know, it's still. I feel like I'm still at my art table, even though I do have this big 22-inch tablet here that I work on when I draw now, because I'm fully digital now. Because where I was so resistant to leave pen and paper or pencil and paper for so long. But, you know, as we all know, in the indie space, you work on comics when you can.
Yeah.
And so I started seeing, like, you know, when cracks in my day, I could stop when I was in between projects. I could just swivel and maybe, ink an arm or a foot, or it's like, well, heck, instead of me trying to take time to pencil this on paper, I should just do everything here. And I actually can, was I looking for, art to sell, or was I trying to get art to get done for a book? And that's what I decided on, was art for a book. I'd rather work on that. So yeah, I just watch my evolution to the way my workspace looks now. It's just, it's very different than where it was even 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I had so I had this, I've had this desk for the whole time, but there was a point in time, I'm trying to remember when, I actually had a second desk, and it was probably after my time at Marvel, because at Marvel I had a big L desk, right? I had a big counter space this way, and then my computer kind of set in the corner, right? So I set cornered in the monitor in the corner, and I would pull up into the corner. And then I had all the table space to both the left and the right of me. And like to the left, I had stacks for, the different titles that I was working on. And I can't remember. Right, I think it was just like my pile of stuff I'm reading and things like that. My in and out, we used to have those in and out trays, you in and out, your editor, your assistants would come in there and grab the stuff. And I found that I liked that. So after that, what happens is I went home and I got me a second desk, and I created my own little L, right? Now, what I did, though, and here's what's funny, is I actually had two computers for a long time. I had one computer that was my work computer, right? And then I had one computer that was my personal computer. Now I still have a work computer today. It's actually, it's down here because I've moved it because I'm not using it right now. But when I use it, I actually bring it up here and set it on a little platform in front of this monitor and plug it up to my extra monitors. But so I still have an extra computer, but I don't have that second desk anymore. Jose says, Macs are better. Don't let Tommy tell you any different.
Oh, Jose doesn't know what he's talking about.
Jose just likes
to back in the day, 100%, but nowadays, no.
I agree. Back in the day,
I think probably, for sure. Absolutely. Today, no.
Tommy, when would you say that? In your mind, when would you say that change for the PCs to the Mac probably was? I have an idea, but when did PCs surpass Macs?
Well, I don't think I think it's just I think it's always been a money type of thing.
Okay,
it's the reason why. I don't think they. There's still, for the most part, Macs are probably a little bit more powerful machines for processing power. But when for the same amount of money, or for half the amount of money, I can buy a much beefier Windows machine to do what that Mac machine is going to do, and then have $2,000 to keep in my pocket. So it's not. It's a no-brainer to me.
I agree with that, but I think longevity with me. My PCs were, after 3 or 4 years, I couldn't, it wasn't keeping up with anything.
I hear folks saying that all the time, and maybe it's just because everybody knows that me doing artwork and stuff. I have a computer science degree, right? So that's why. So I'm really good at with computers and stuff. I've never had a problem with a Windows machine. If I did, I knew how to fix it, and so those problems. I wear my Windows machines out until they don't update anymore, or you can't update.
I'm on a 10-year-old iMac right now. I've got a 20. I mean, and that's the difference. Other than this, I've got my art tablet. I've got a 27-inch iMac, and then I've got another screen over here. That's something I would have never imagined either. Because I used to, when I first saw somebody using 2 screens, it's like, oh, that's ridiculous. Who would work on 2 screens? And now I'm a person that works on 3.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Well, I don't know how easy this is going to be for me to do, but
that's the reason I won't do it.
You've got several.
This is my space now, right? So there's my primary screen. Well, I've got another screen over here that's tall, right? And then I've got my third screen right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Renee
know, it becomes so
my wife
productive.
Renee works from home for Disney, and she's got four monitors set up.
Yeah.
And she, just so she can have everything that she needs open at one time. It's
Right.
I was like, why don't they just give you like a
bigger
70-inch monitor, and then that way you can just put it all on one screen. It's like, they're not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've teased with BJ. I said, well, I think I'm going to get me because we've got one or two. My computers last longer than my TVs. But I've got like 40. I've got like a 40-inch TV that's just sitting in my garage. The sound went out on it, right? But the picture still looks great, but the sound doesn't work. So it's of no use to us anymore unless we plug up, like a exterior speaker to it. And so I've been telling her I'm going to bring it in and put it right up in front of me. Like this.
You should, because it would probably make a great monitor.
I think so too. Yeah. So I haven't quite gotten that aggressive at doing it yet. But yeah, I'm probably going to do it because I've got the space right up here to do it. And I mean, my microphone, which you can see right there, would be in front of it. But I can look around it.
Yeah.
So Tommy, what about you? What do you remember about your first workspace?
I'm like everybody. When I started, I felt that I needed to get a drafting table and all that kind of stuff, an art table. And when I had a studio with Stephen and Mitch and Barry and everybody, when I was at the studio, I had an art table, but at home, I had an art table at home. I never used it. And so my deal with me is I always sat in front of the TV and did all my inking and coloring and stuff. And I never used any of my art stuff at home, the art tables and all that kind of stuff, the drafting table. So I just figured, it was because when you're doing this freelance, you just need to keep working all the time. So if I'm at the studio, I'm working, then I get home and I'm like, well, I need to crank out another page tonight. And I don't want to go shove myself off into a room and not be around Renee the whole time. Because that's going to, it was a beautiful thing that she let me work on doing comics, right? She said you didn't have to go get a real job, even though you went to school, do comics and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, and I felt, I was like, I need to do that. But if I'm at home, I need to be home. I don't need to be working off in another room. So I figured out how to sit in front of the TV. And I did that early 90s when I was at home. I would just draw in front of, I'd have my little ink thing off the side. Of course, I would spill ink on the sofa and all that kind of stuff and make a mess. And, it would drive Renee crazy, but at least I wasn't in another room trying to work on stuff. I was sitting in front of the TV working,
right.
And spending time with her and doing that family time stuff, but still getting work done at the same time. And I got really good at not watching TV, but still knowing what was going on. By, you just look up every 20 seconds or so and see what's on TV, and you let your imagination, you could hear everything, of course, and then you get to work drawing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, I had a drafting table and all that kind of stuff. The drafties, that angled table, the art table.
Yeah.
Like Mike was talking about.
You probably remember this back way back when. I don't remember if it was we were still in college or just out. I remember going over to Mitch's one time, and Mitch sat in a chair directly in front of his computer with just a board, and he had artwork on the board, and he was drawing.
Yeah. That's what I would do. That's when I'm here working at the house. You see this little table, this little board here. This is the same board. I just bring it in the living room and sit it on my lap, and all the markers and stuff. And I got away from using actual ink in a bottle inks way before I quit being full-time working for Marvel and Malibu and all that kind of stuff. I started switching over to less messes of not having bottles of ink sitting in the living room getting all over your nice furniture and all that kind of stuff and making a mess. And you know, and a lot of times at home, I would just do backgrounds and stuff. So it was still just having rapidiographs and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
you know. So it was less needing to have a bottle of ink out and all that kind of stuff. Get all the backgrounds done at home. Then when I'm at the office, I can pull out the brushwork and get all that quill stuff done.
Yeah. Now I have to assume that even though both of you have art tables, you still had a computer, right?
Oh yeah.
Where was your computer in relation to your drafting table?
To the
For
side.
me, it was just in the other room at that point in time. I wasn't using it to do any artwork on and stuff. It was more for playing games but you know, this was like early 90s to early 2000. I moved here. I had a computer. It was just sitting in the other room, but I wasn't doing it. Wasn't until I needed the computer really until I started going digital, which I went digital pretty early.
Yeah.
And I think I went digital because I wanted to not have to carry all this ink around with me when I was in the living room and stuff. And then when the iPads became available, and it's like, shoot, I don't need one of those Wacom tablets and all those big, you know, multi-$1,000 drawing boards and all that kind of stuff. I could just have my iPad Pro, and that's been the to me, the iPads were the game changers. Just those portable devices that you can actually do the same work that you could get done on a big digital table. I think my first drawing digital screen that I had that I could draw on was it's heavy. It's those Wacom things. It was as heavy as a monitor, right? And so I figured out how to set it up in the living room also, where I had it hooked up to, because you had to have it hooked up to an arm, right? You know, one of those movable arm things. So I had a rollable table that I would put my laptop. I switched to laptops pretty quick just so I could be more mobile, and got rid of desktops. I haven't had a desktop computer in probably 15 years or so. I went to laptops just so I could be more mobile.
Yeah.
And so I had a little rollable table that I would put my laptop in the bottom, hook the monitors to it, you know, to the cables to it, and then I would pull it over by my chair, and then I would swing that big arm in the way that had the monitor hooked to it, so I could still sit in my recliner and watch TV and still get work done. And then it's like being an airline pilot. Then all of a sudden you move all that stuff out of the way to get up. So I kind of switched from one thing to the other, but it was still all just trying to figure out how to do it in a quick, easier way. It wasn't easier to do by no means. Mike said that it was more convenient. I tell people that it shows all the time when they get mad at you for going digital. It's like, you're just doing it because it's easier. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not any easier. It's just more convenient.
Yeah.
It's not easier.
Yeah.
You know, you still got to draw. I mean, that's just it's not AI. Just because you hear the word digital, you think something's assisting you, but it's not. It's like you're still having to hit. You're still having to erase something. You're still having to go back. You're still having to size and trying to figure things out, lay it out yourself.
Absolutely. And when that shows, people, you know, give you that kind of, when they give you that lip, when they talk about that, and there's like, so I'll pull out a book that I ink digitally, and one that our pages, I'll have, you know, I still have tradition. I still have a lot of pages that I did traditionally at my table, at the booths and stuff that shows. And so I would pull out, I have a stack of basically posters that are digitally inked, right? And I sell those really cheap because they're just printouts. And then I have the originals, and I throw two of them on the table, and I go, which one's digital and which one's by hand? And they go, well, they're both by hand. I'm like, no, it's not. This one's digital, and this one. And they go, well, I can't tell the difference. And I'm like, I know. I've worked really hard to make sure that nobody can say that it looks like it's computer drawn. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's still this is still the hand that's doing it. I'm still drawing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here, you're still got
exactly. It's still me drawing it. It's just that I'm drawing it on a computer screen. You know, it's
yeah.
It's not on paper. But
Mike, what about you for your computer? Where because I know that you have to deal with a lot of clients, and you do most of that. I would guess today anyway. Did you via email and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. For a lot of years, my art table was across the room. I always had an office. I always had an office in the house we lived in, and my computer would be in a corner where I call it quote unquote work. And then across the room, my art table would be facing away from the computer because I didn't want to look at the computer while I was drawing.
Yeah.
Well, I always had a nice poster or something in front of me that was taking my attention. So they were on opposite side of the rooms for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, as I got more and more having to integrate the digital part of what I did, so they became less disassociated and had to be kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm with Tommy. I mean, I've got a laptop. When I do lettering on my laptop, I don't do lettering up here. I do lettering with the family. I sit and watch TV, or I'm in front of the TV. But I letter every book you ever see me letter. It's from my laptop. And
interesting. I didn't know
I've
that.
got all my tools on the laptop, and I can sit there and have a conversation or not have a conversation. But everything else, when I make a comic, when I do my graphic design and make books, or job wise, it's in my office. But all lettering's always done on the couch because I'm sitting there. I want to be with the family because usually lettering is after hours.
Yeah.
So I wanted something that was portable. Now I also bought a smaller digital tablet to do art also that way, but then I can't draw on the smaller ones. I tried on the iPad, and I tried on, like I said, I got a 13-inch Huon, and Aiden uses it. It's his now because I tried using it, and it's just too small because I draw with my shoulder because I have hand and wrist issues, so I have to do a lot more with my shoulder to make curves and get the thickness of line and whatever. So I need something a little more on the screen that I can run my hand across. So I do have a smaller digital tablet. But like I said, it's all Aiden's now because I just didn't use it.
Well, and so I want to add here, and you guys back me up if or contradict me if it's not true. So for those of you who are listening who can't remember life before the internet, one of the reasons that we did some of this with the two separate things is because like for me, one of my computers was connected to the internet. The other one was not. And so my computer connected to the internet, that was the one in which I checked my emails, did any kind of web browsing, even early web browsing, right? But my other one is where I did my work. It's where I actually did my writing. It's where, I did any kind of editing, if I was editing on the screen, because it wasn't connected to the internet and I didn't have the distractions. One of the challenges that I think a lot of people have today is I'm sitting down on my computer and I'm using the exact same computer that I write, that I do Facebook with, that I do these streams with. It's the same computer. And sometimes when I sit down and say, oh, I'm going to write today, I sit down and go, well, before I write, let me check Facebook, right? And then, 30 minutes later, you're like, oh, crap, I just lost 30 minutes to, what I was going to spend time writing. And I think those, for me anyway, I'm not speaking for anyone else, but for me, those challenges have been exacerbated when everything in my office is now connected to the internet. I've got, I've got another computer over there that's connected. It's bad though. It's got to go away. But it's because of the computer, not the internet. I've got a printer that's connected, right? I've got this stupid little, you can't see it, Amazon Dot, right? It's connected. And so everything is connected to the internet. That wasn't always the case because I used to have to run a physical wire, right, to my computer in order to get internet connection.
Well, you're not too far gone as long as your refrigerator doesn't connect to the internet. So you're okay there. If you don't have Wi-Fi on your fridge, you're still in the good shape.
I do not have Wi-Fi on the fridge.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. But the next refrigerator you buy, you might have to. I don't know. But I'm the same way. And that's the reason I like to keep an office. I usually the most I'll do is I'll put YouTube on. I like to listen to like what we're doing, people's podcasts. So on my third screen, I usually have something on YouTube, but I try to keep my phone away from me. That's the one thing I do try to do. I try to. It's usually I don't like it right next to me, so because I'm very bad about when I get. I noticed that I started doing this. That when I would get done with a project, I would then turn around and pick up my phone okay, sure, I'm checking my email. Quote unquote, while I'm scanning Facebook and saying, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
But but that's the thing. It's so easy to get distracted now.
It is. It is. Yeah. And it's all. Well, I would say all. I would say majority of it is technologically driven. These distractions.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a fan of technology, even though Tommy doesn't think I'm a fan of phones. I don't even know my
phone. You just got one recently.
Yeah, and I don't know where it is. It's not. But I fortunately for me, I don't have a terrible problem with the phone, mostly because I don't keep up with it. But what I've noticed is that if my phone, like in my living room, right, if I'm sitting there and my phone happens to be on the table right next to me, I'm picking it up. And I'm doing the little, little phone thing, right? Just scrolling through and looking at crap. Anybody notice that Facebook seems to be nothing but ads these days?
Yeah, ads and people that I don't follow. It's like, I've got 2,000 some friends. Why don't you show me those people?
Right.
Instead of showing me, hey, you might be interested in this.
My wife and I were talking about this the other day, and I scrolled through the other day at least 10 different things before seeing the first thing by someone I actually followed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not what I'm on Facebook for.
Yeah.
And
I get half the reception I used to as far as people seeing my stuff because of the blasted algorithm. So
so I'm actually looking at our viewers now, and we don't have a single viewer from Facebook right now. Assuming this is correct, the overwhelming majority of our viewers are coming from Twitter. So all of you out on Twitter, X, all of you out on Twitter land, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging with us. We have a couple on YouTube. So those of you on YouTube, thank you so much. We'd prefer you to be on YouTube, quite honestly, because that's where we can get monetized. That's where we can get we can track our views. We can't track our views on X at all, or at least not that I'm familiar with. We appreciate your views, absolutely 100%. Thank you for hanging out with us. But the whole point of this was Facebook. We're on two channels on Facebook. We're on Silverline's channel, and we're on the Madness channel. But we don't have a single viewer over on Facebook, which I don't understand, because we seem to get a lot of I shouldn't say a lot, but we get our share of commentary, reactions, when we post stuff, and so I just don't understand why we're not getting any folks viewing our streams live. Now we get them after the fact.
I was going to say, did you see our Stephen Butler one is over 1,000 now?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it said 1 point, I think 1K the other day. I looked at it.
Really?
Views? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, good thing we're going to have him back on, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's Facebook. I mean, that's but that's hard to that's hard to see when we're doing this live.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, it's hard to predict what what folks are going to be interested, and it's hard to predict what what else is going on. Like I said, when I was over on Facebook looking, Aaron Lepresti, who we love, by the way, you guys don't mishear us, but that means some of the folks who are listening right now, they got to make a decision. Oh, do I want to listen to you guys, or do I want to go listen to Aaron Lepresti? I mean, Aaron Lepresti's Aaron Lepresti, so it's tough to compete with him.
But he doesn't have Tommy.
Yeah, he's not inking.
He doesn't have Tommy, so there's a detraction right there.
Raymond McKay. Hey, Raymond, thanks for hanging out with us, man. He says, I was told to get Facebook to help meet people in the comics field and help my comic book career, and it definitely has helped me make connections. Oh, I absolutely, I have no doubt. In fact, what a lot of people don't realize, I mean, we do in-house, most of our Silverline communications are done via Facebook and Facebook Messenger. Yep. We have so many different, Silverline group. We've got a group just for our Sunday night, just for us, right? There's a Wednesday group that the Wednesday people are part of. Tuesday has a group. We've got a Team Silverline, which is like everybody. So yeah, it's it's handy to have. Raymond also says, but that being said, there's a ridiculous amount of ads and spam. Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, especially when you're going to, and I don't know if it's because maybe is Facebook having, are they having issues getting the younger people there, and so they're trying to give us more ads to generate more cash. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Raymond adds in, hard to get eyes on stuff I post or see what people I like are working on. Yeah. And like Mike was saying, I would much rather see the people that I actually follow than all these. It's like Facebook, stop recommending crap to me. I don't need you to recommend crap to me. My friends will, Yeah. and they've got a better idea of what I like than Facebook does.
What the funny thing about Facebook is that at the Kablam office, Barry, I, and Jennifer will pop up in the middle of the day and go, "Hey, did you hear that such and such was doing such?" And I go, "I shared that 4 hours ago. Why didn't you see?" And they go, "I didn't even." I'm like, "You not follow me? Did you block me?" And then we'd get into big arguments. "Did you block me on Facebook? Didn't you?" And they go, "No, I didn't block you." And they go, Facebook is not even showing. I don't know what the deal is. Why you can't see your people that you follow.
Yeah.
Well, why isn't that stuff showing up on your wall?
Yeah, I've got friends that I thought they just got off Facebook. And then when I think to go to their page, it's like they were just posting yesterday. I never saw that.
Right. They got a month worth of stuff that you didn't see. And they posted about somebody's birth or whatever. You go like, I would have said something nice to them. And now they think I'm a jerk because I didn't see. Like with Roland, you think I would remember it was Roland's birthday. I didn't. I apologize. I'm going to take him out to lunch tomorrow, so he knows. But I forgot. And then all of a sudden I saw over in the Silverline thing, everybody's saying happy birthday, and I'm like, whose friggin' birthday is it? It's Roland's birthday. Well, how come I didn't? And then I see there's all kind of people on his thing saying happy birthday on this. And I didn't even see not one thing. It's like that's stupid Facebook.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Argo Comics says, yes, Facebook helps with connecting. Hey, Ray, but I watch shows on YouTube and never watch shows on Facebook. Yeah, I don't ever watch shows on Facebook either. Do you guys?
Depends. I mean, there's people that I know that do little broadcasts. Glenn Whitmore. Glenn Whitmore used to be at Colors for DC. He's got a show that goes against us at 8:00.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It's just a sketch show, but
he needs to move his time to 9 then.
Yeah.
Him and Aaron, they need to change their times.
No kidding, yeah.
I thought at one point in time, Aaron used to be 9:00. And so I thought when we had the 8:00 slot, I didn't think that we would be competing against him. And
maybe he saw how popular our 8:00 time was and he moved.
Yeah, could have been. I don't know. He's also got I don't think tonight is the bearded the round table, is it? It's just Aaron. The bearded bros, they do the bro show. Y'all aren't familiar with that?
No,
one?
apparently not.
Okay. I know it's Aaron and Art to Bear and Billy Tucci and Graham.
Well, we're way more popular than those guys. Nobody's watching them.
Yeah, but I don't think that's tonight. I think that's a different.
Are you talking about the Professionals?
The Professionals. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I never can get it right. It's the Bro Show.
Same mentality.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing too. You think about that when we started this. We started this, if you guys remember, just before COVID. Now I'm talking about like a minute before COVID hit, right? But there weren't that many shows out like what we do. There were shows, so I'm not saying that we're the first. That's not what I'm trying to say. But there weren't that many. There was a couple of the angry shows. I hate this book and let me stab it with a knife. There were some of those out there. But now it seems like so many people have shows.
So it's so easy, and it's so easy to monetize if you can figure out how to do it. But that's another thing with our work. Talking about our workspaces have changed. Used to, collaborators were by phone or by, correspondence, and now you can sit here and talk to each other and schedule whole books about how what you're going to do. I mean, that's just another aspect of what, creating's about.
Well, that's kind of why we started, or why it was so we all were looking forward to doing it.
Yes.
And now we're not looking forward to it at all. But then
I look forward to Sunday nights all the time, man. It's one of my favorite times. Well, so think about it this way too. You guys remember when we first like if Tom was here, I would say this, right? So when we first started working in comics, your communication was all either on the phone or it was typewritten through mail. Right. You had no idea what the other people look like. No. Like I communicated with Mike for a long time. Had no idea what Mike looked like. One year, Mike, and I don't know if you remember this, you sent me a Christmas card that had a picture of your family. And I'm like, oh, that's what this guy looks like. But we didn't have that. I knew what he sounded like because I don't even know if we talked on the phone at that point in time.
Yeah, we did, because that little newsprint thing, preview thing you put together.
Okay,
I sent you a bunch of files and you were having trouble printing it.
Yeah. So but we talked on the phone. We had swapped letters and emails. But now it's you pop on. What does he look like? You just pop on Facebook and look him up. Raymond says totally agree. I usually see this show is live on Facebook, then I pull it up on YouTube. Oh, very cool. Thanks Raymond. I think we're still a couple of hundred subscribers away from on YouTube before getting monetized. What was that sound? That was a big ding. Did y'all hear that? Was that you, Tommy?
Yeah, throwing the rulers around.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It was a ding. It sounded like a computer ding.
Bing.
No, that wasn't it.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, I'm just wanting to see if it was StreamYard hollering at me or something, but I don't see any pop-ups here. So anyway, that was interesting.
Squirrel.
Right? Yeah. Now I will sometimes watch reels on talking about Facebook. I will sometimes watch reels on Facebook because they're so short. But I will find that after one or two, I've seen enough reels. But here's why, and I think Tommy and I talked about this at one point in time. I prefer and the reason I go to TikTok over the Facebook reels is people say, well, why don't you just watch Facebook? Is because the problem I have with the Facebook reels is I can't fast forward through them and I can't skip through them. So once they start, you can go to the next one, right? But you can't say, I don't want to see the first part of this reel. Give me to the middle of it or something like, because some of these reels are so stupid. They'll say, come on, watch us. We're going to go do this. Right. And you're like, just get to it. Right. And so I don't want to watch the whole thing. I just want to get to the ending, but you can't do that on reels. On TikTok, you can, because they have that little scroll bar under it like YouTube does. Right. And the other thing, Raymond, see if Raymond will agree to this. If you watch something on YouTube and now you're not watching it live, you can go down there and hit that 1.5 speed, and you can speed that thing up. Right? Yeah. So when you get folks like me and Mike and Tommy, all Southerners, getting on here, we talk a little bit slow. Right? You can hit that 1.5 speed, and we probably still sound okay.
I sound normal at that point.
An admin has removed you from this team. What? Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to hit cancel and see what that does. All right. That was weird.
Well, we're still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all
we're still here.
Watching, can y'all still see it?
Yep. It looks like we're still live. It's interesting. Raymond says, LOL, I turn on 1.5 speed when I have to listen to recorded lectures from my classes.
That works.
Raymond, I do that for my student presentations too. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Yeah. Okay. Now that was a weird pop-up that I got, y'all. It said an admin had removed me. Pops, did you accidentally remove me or something? What happened?
We got gremlins in the system.
Yeah. And that might have been what the
kicked off.
What the dinging was. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird though. Yeah. So, what else? What other kind of changes has your workspace seen from the days you started? Either one of you.
Turning in pages is a big difference. I don't have to send them in the mail anymore. I can just scan them in, pop them over to you, email them to you, throw them in a Dropbox, that kind of thing. That's a big time saver.
Yes.
Especially for making corrections or whatever. Before, if there was a correction that may be made, and if you didn't have somebody in house or you couldn't fix it yourself, you're just like, oh well, it's gonna just be what it is, and you just let it go. Yeah. But now you can call and say, hey Thomas, you got 2 left hands. Oh, I need to fix that. Or
right.
Can you flip that panel real quick? And it'd be better if it would read the other direction or whatever. It's just easier to fix. Yeah. Digitally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, on the publishing side, basically, press, as far as, your choices for how do you get something printed, how do you get something in physical contact? Because, before, you had sheet fed, you had web press, you had all these different things that you had to, go through. And oh my gosh, I remember the newspaper having to do spot colors.
Oh,
yeah.
Cut that stuff out on the waxer and having to put that on plastic sheets and having to do stuff with. But nowadays, you've got
you just click it, highlight it, and say exactly. Make that yellow, and then it's done. And you don't have to.
It's all about selections. And then when you send it off to get printed, I mean, it's there is no physicality anymore. I mean, they're you've got
not even the big printers. Yeah. Not even the big printing houses. I mean, you think, oh, well, that's just the smaller house. No, big printing houses, it's all digital now.
Yeah, it's all digital. I mean, you had, we've gone through film and we've then
direct to film.
Direct to plate. It went from having to make film to then burn them on plates, and now it's direct to plate, and now it's digital, and now it's all
100%. Yeah. What's up, Bob? Is that you? You removing us?
Yeah, I screwed up, so I'm here to end the show with you when it's time. Don't worry, I got you.
Okay.
Pops, get off the air. You guys have been talking too much.
No, I was passing admin before I was to somebody else, and I hit you instead of somebody else. I just pressed the wrong button. So
well, it didn't.
I got you.
It didn't end the show because but it popped up during the middle of the show, and it says, "Oh, you've been removed as an admin from the show," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So I had to actually click. I clicked. I was afraid if I clicked OK, it would have ended the stream, but I just clicked cancel. So and we're still live. So
I don't think you. I think once I removed admin, you had no control at all. So that's why I'm here to make sure that I can end your show with the time.
Well, I didn't try to end it, but everything. My screen still looks the same, so it looks like I still have. So, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'll hang out backstage. If you go to push buttons and nothing happens, just holler.
All right. Thanks, Pops.
You bet.
Hey, Tommy, while you're on the screen drawing that beautiful piece of work, how about giving the wannabe inkers out there ideas on depth? That's one of the biggest thing about inking is that you're having to put things into depth.
Yeah.
For the penciler. Penciler can only give you so much, but you're the guy that gives the depth. So why don't you give a little tip?
Well, I'm not really doing it here because I just jumped straight into inking something that would look fun to ink because I would have done all the. Yeah, it's that building up the layers. You need a foreground, a middle, and a background kind of thing. So you can see like I'm going to ink these little guys back here. Let's see. Let me see. Let me pull one of these other ones up. Maybe I could find something a little better. Okay, well maybe here on the Cray thing, I've inked him a lot thicker, the line work thicker than I did some of this background stuff. So, That way, probably should have went a little thinner on the background, but I didn't. But just you want that foreground stuff just to be a lot thicker. The lines need to be thicker, so that way it pulls it tricks your eye into pulling the character closer to your face. Is what you're doing. You're trying to trick a 2D piece of paper into looking 3D, even in the ink section of it. When they put the colors in there, they're going to I'm sure they'll put some sort of muted color in the background that'll just even push those rocks way further back. But, in the inks, that's what you're trying to do, the same thing. You're trying, like I probably should come back now. I'm looking at it, come back to this tail and ink the tail a lot thicker. So that way it will stand out from the background a little more. But I think that's what Mike was trying to get at. You're just trying to make those inks a lot thicker where they need to be thicker. You're doing the thick and thin just to make it look like it's round and stuff, but it still needs to be thicker, not just thick and thins where they need to be. You're wanting to make the foreground stuff a lot more bold, so that way it's closer. It feels like it's closer to you, the thicker the line is. And so in the background stuff, it's just real thin, like all these little wafery lines back here for the ground. If I had inked them as thick as I inked the horse, then it would all just blur together and you wouldn't be able to tell any kind of distance back there. But by doing it thinner like this, it just pushes it, that background just falls to the back. And, I tend to be a little heavy handed, but, some people would have inked the backgrounds even thinner probably and just left them just really wafery. That's not really my style. I still like to make the rocks, a little more oomph to them, but you got to keep them thin, and then the middle ground, and then you pull it. Let's see. I wish I had more stuff to show. There's not a whole lot in all this kind of stuff. Like these little dudes back here is real thin. This is thin, so it kind of pushes way back, and then and then all of a sudden you get to him, and he's real monstrously thick. He probably could go a little thicker. And then I got that rock that's even here, and you see the rock's is a little thicker than he is for the most part. So it pulls the rock. So the rock's in the way for the foreground. Mr. No Way Jose we could have drawn some more rocks on the side, and that would have,
Well, it's funny because Jose and I talked about this a little bit at the Halloween Fest, because one of the only things I said to him early on was, I said, don't be afraid of the thick line. Because he had done a cover and it looked great, right? But in looking at it, I'm like, okay, you could actually go thicker on these lines, Jose. And I said, hey man, don't be afraid of those thick lines, right? And he actually, and this was like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, something like that. And he actually was very generous. He was like, thank you for that, Roland. And he goes, that was one of the earliest things that you said. And he goes, just I've been seeing it now.
Yeah, look how much the Cray looks towards you by being that much thicker lines. I mean, it gives you that feeling of different planes of the picture that it has depth, it has volume, and like he's coming to you.
Yeah, you got this ledge right here, and then all the stuff that's on the other side of the ledge there is thinner. So that way, it's that this is a different level. You know what I'm saying? That's a different piece than the stuff that's even back there, and then you get further back, and then the clouds are really wafery, way back there in the background. Yeah, and so you're just trying to build it. At some point you got to, I could come back and keep working this, but you can go too far sometimes. You can just add too many lines, and I think I've always felt less lines are better than too much. So but the rock stuff turned out good. So like on here, what I'll probably do when I'm done, once I get it all inked, I'll come back and I'll probably beef the Mr. Grimm here. I'll probably beef him up a lot more, so that way he's even pulled closer to you than the stuff that's in the background. I'll probably just try to keep all this stuff really thin. You see these lines that I was drawing in this balcony thing over here, whatever that's supposed to be. As an inker, sometimes you don't know what his stuff is, but you know what what it's supposed to.
Where it is.
Yeah, so like this is, he's in the foreground. This is like in the middle ground. This guy over here is in the middle ground, but all this stuff is supposed to just be way back there because you got this little bitty dude, right?
Yeah.
I just saw this. It looks like there's 3 or 4 people, little demons looking over the top over here. Yeah. That'll probably get covered with a logo or something.
Jose said, more rocks. Dang it, Tommy. That's a great idea.
More rocks. More rocks. I'll send it back to you and you can add more rocks.
Yeah. Raymond said, if I could give my 2 cents, while it's great that I can communicate with people miles and time zones away and we can work better as teams, sometimes people always being able to get a hold of you can be draining. Though I love that I can talk all kinds of comics with all kinds of amazing people. Highlight of the app. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons, Raymond, that I don't carry my phone in my hip pocket with me all the time because, I tell my Tommy doesn't like it. My kids don't like it, but I tell my kids, I'm like, look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not on call. I don't need my phone.
Oh, I expect you to pick up when I call.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Tommy's like, where are you?
Answer the phone. I need to know right now.
Yeah. But no, I think you're right, Raymond. And I think too, a younger generation, I know I experienced it for my kids. If we don't answer them immediately, they're like, why didn't you answer? Why didn't you answer?
Well, yeah, people think when you don't answer immediately, people think you're dead.
Right. Yeah. And think back, way back when we used to call people and leave messages on their answer machine and hope they would call us back the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jose said, you also don't know how to use your phone, Hefe. I do too.
Who's this Hefe guy that he keeps talking about? He doesn't work for Silverline.
I actually had to make him define that for me. I said, man, you call me that all the time. What does that mean? He told me, so I'm good. I'm not gonna tell you though, Tommy. You got to ask him. So
I shared the thing for Pops over on the side thing. I don't know if you want to pull that up or not. I hadn't looked at it. I don't know what it's on there. The Ozzy Osbourne thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, you could share the link out for him if you want.
Yeah, Pop shared it. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He shared it. So, he's sharing it again. For those of you, I know this on the screen there, but you got to go to the link and click on it. And you can go. He's got it. Look at that. He's got it on all of our outlets, wherever we're streaming. So you guys go on over there. And so why is this important? If you guys got an extra couple of dollars, if you like what we're doing, this book is actually going to help fund our stream, because even though StreamYard is free, all the extra stuff that we do on it is not free. So this and the Roku, all of this requires money. So, if everyone can find even just a little something that you can find over there and get. And remember, you get your copy. You can always get not just Tommy and Salvador and Jose and Rob to sign it, but there's a lot of other artists in it as well. Yeah, Pop says it's free for rolling as long as we can pay the bills. That's what I'm saying. You guys get over there and whatever you can swing, especially if you like what we're doing. Right. If you like tuning into us, get on over there and see if you can't find something. It is on Fund My Comic, and though there's no end date, so you can contribute. It says with a minimum of $1. So get on over there, take a peek wherever you're coming from, and look. You guys got anything coming up this week?
No.
I'm doing my 30 minutes of comic book chaos on
Tuesday.
If anybody's 8 o'clock. So that's before the Silverline show.
What are you drawing this week?
It's a mystery. We don't know. We're gonna Scott Hoverman from 3 Alarm Comics is just gonna make up something. I told him it had to be something in his shop, so it can't be so weird that we can't look it up. So it's gonna be a 35-minute show because he's given us 5 minutes to be able to look it up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, anything?
No, nothing going on.
Yep, same here. All right, then. Well, on Tuesday, guys, don't forget to tune in to our Tuesday team. They're going to talk about our dream comics properties. The Tuesday crew discusses what their dream property to work on would be and how they would envision the story or how they would add to its legacy. That's on Tuesday. That's 11 p.m. Eastern time. On Wednesday, the Whammers talk about what's in a name, the agony and ecstasy of finding that perfect name for your character and that perfect title for your book. Well, we know how tough that can be, don't we?
Oh, golly.
So that is on Wednesday with the Whammers, and those guys are at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Next week, we'll be back at 8 p.m. next week. What comics do you buy again when you see them? This is something that we briefly talked about in one of our streams before, and Tom Mason said, let's talk about that. He goes, it happens sometimes on purpose. What comics, when you see them for sale, you have to bug out again, even though you know you have it already. The Silver Sunday team will make their confessions. What are yours? What comics do you have? Okay, anything else, fellas?
That's good for me. And I'm missing Halloween already. What am I going to do?
Well, make yourself feel better. Just put your Christmas decorations up.
Right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to turn our jack-o'-lanterns around the other way, and then they're good for Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Let's see here. Raymond says, great stream. Thanks, guys. Raymond, thanks for hanging out with us. Let me get back to the screen. Oh, I don't have to do that anymore. That now they're just in stream. So
yeah, the end stream throws up the outro.
Let's see if it works.
I know that's
see if we have to call Pops in here. Until next time, remember to make mine Silverline. Good night, everyone.
See if the thing will play.
Hey everyone, this is Jose Marzan Jr., inker for Marvel and DC, and make mine Silverline.